Shout out to my Florida grandparents. Thanks for watching this. Love you guys. Okay. Way back when I was just a little bitty boy, living under the stairs in the corner of the basement of the house, half a block down the street from Jerry's Bait Shop. You know the place. Well, back then, life was going swell, and life was just peachy. Except for the undeniable fact that every single morning, my mom would make me a big bowl of sauerkraut for breakfast. A big bowl of sauerkraut every single morning. It was driving me crazy. So I said to my mom, I said, "Hey Mom, what's with all the sauerkraut?" Well, my dear, sweet, innocent mother, she looked at me like a cow looks at an oncoming train, and she leaned right down next to me and she said, "It's good for you." And then she tied me to a wall, stuck a funnel in my mouth, and force-fed me nothing but sauerkraut till I was 27 and a half years old. That's when I swore that one day I'd make it out of this basement and travel to a magical, faraway place. A place where the sun is always shining and the air smells like warm root beer and the towels are oh so fluffy. Where the Shriners and lepers play their ukuleles all day long and anyone on the street will gladly shave your back for a nickel. Well, it wasn't very long before all my dreams came true, because the very next day, the local radio station was holding a contest to see who could correctly guess the number of molecules on Leonard Nimoy's butt. I was off by 3, but I still won the grand prize. A first-class, one-way ticket to Albuquerque. Hi, my name is Eli Williamson, and this is Albuquerque by Al Yankovic. You know, I'd never really been on a real airplane before, and I gotta tell you, it was great! Well, I did have to sit between 2 large Albanian women with excruciatingly severe body odor. The kid behind me kept throwing up the whole time, and the flight attendants ran out of Dr. Pepper and salted peanuts, and oh yeah, 3 of the airplane's engines burnt out, and we were sitting to a tailspin, and we crashed into a hillside, and the plane exploded, and everybody died! Except for me. Wanna know why? I had my tray table up, and my seat was in the full upright position. Oh, so I crawled. I crawled from the twisted, burning wreckage of the plane for 3 full days, carrying nothing except my leather suitcase, my garment bag, my tenor saxophone, my 12-pound bowling ball, and my lucky autographed glow-in-the-dark snorkel. Till I arrived at the world-famous Albuquerque Holiday Inn, where the towels are oh so fluffy. Oh, and you can eat your soup right out of the ashtrays if you wanna. It's okay, they're clean. So I check into my room and I turn off the AC and I turn on the Spectravision, and I'm just about to eat those little mints they leave on the pillows that I love so very, very much. When suddenly there's a knock at the door. Who could that be? Who is it? No answer. Who is it? No answer. Who is it? They're not saying anything. So I get up and I open the door, and just as I suspected, it's some big fat guy with a flock of seagulls haircut and only one working nostril. I hate it when I'm right. So anyway, he barges into my room and he grabs my lucky snorkel. And I said, "Hey, you can't have that. That snorkel's been just like a snorkel to me." He's like, "Tough." I'm like, "Give it." He's like, "Make me." I'm like, "Okay." So I grabbed his leg and he grabbed my esophagus and I bit off his ear and he chewed off my eyebrows and he took out my appendix, so I gave him a colonic irrigation. But to cut a long story short, he got away with my snorkel. But I made a solemn vow right then and there that I would not rest, I would not sleep until the one-nostriled man was brought to justice. But first, I decided to go buy some donuts. So I got into my car and I drove over to the donut shop and I walked up to the man behind the counter and he said, "Yeah, what do you want?" You got any glazed donuts?" "No, we're out of glazed donuts." You got any jelly donuts?" "No, we're out of jelly donuts." Oh, you got any Bavarian cream-filled donuts?" "No, we're out of Bavarian cream-filled donuts." Oh, you got any cinnamon rolls?" "No, we're out of cinnamon rolls." Oh, you got any apple fritters?" "No, we're out of apple fritters." Oh, you got any bear claws?" "No." I'll go check. No, we're out of bear claws! In that case, what do you have? All I got right now is this box of 12 starving, crazed weasels. All right, I'll take that. So he hands me the box and I walk over to the counter and I open up the box and immediately a bunch of weasels jump out of my face and start gnawing out my eyes like, oh man, they were going crazy. Oh, they were going nuts. They were tearing me apart. Oh, I ran out to the street and started running like a constipated wiener dog. Oh, and it was just at that very moment that I ran into the love of my life. Her name was Zelda. She was a calligraphy enthusiast with a slight overbite and hair the color of strained peaches. I'll never forget the first thing she said to me. She said, "Hey, you've got weasels on your face." Ooh, that's when I knew it was true love. We were inseparable after that. We ate together. We bathed together. Oh, we even shared the same piece of mint-flavored dental floss. Oh, the world was our burrito. We bought us a house and had 2 beautiful children, Nathaniel and Superfly. Oh, we were so very, very happy. But one night, Zelda turned to me and she said, "Sweetie Pumpkin, have you considered the prospect of us sharing the same bed?" And I said, "Whoa, slow down there, sweetheart. I don't think I'm ready for that kind of commitment." So we broke up and I never saw her again, but that's just the way things go in Albuquerque. Actually, things started really looking up for me after that. I finally achieved a lifelong goal of mine. That's right, I got a part-time job at the Sizzler. I even made Employee of the Month when I put out that grease fire with my face. Yeah, people were pretty jealous of me after that. I was getting a lot of attitude. So like this one time, I was out in the parking lot trying to get rid of some excess earwax with a golf pencil, right? And this guy Marty's trying to lug this giant sofa up the stairs. So I say, "Hey Marty, do you need any help with that?" Well, Marty just rolls his eyes and says, "No, I want you to push me down the stairs." All right, and I did. But then he gets all indignant on me. He's like, "Hey man, I didn't actually want you to do it. I was just being sarcastic." That's just great. How was I supposed to know that? I'm not a mind reader, for crying out loud. See, that reminds me of another amusing anecdote. This one time I was walking down the street and this homeless guy came up to me and said that he hadn't had a bite in 3 days. Well, I knew what he meant, but just to be funny, I took a big bite out of his jugular vein. Well, then he starts bleeding and screaming and yelling at me, and I'm like, "Hey man, don't you get it?" But instead he starts rolling on the sidewalk, bleeding and screaming and cussing everywhere. Completely missing the irony of the whole situation. You know, some people really can't take a joke. Oh, where was I? Kinda lost my train of thought there. I guess it's kind of a roundabout way of me saying this, but kind of the moral of this whole story that I'm trying to tell is that I hate sauerkraut! That's all I'm really trying to say. Hey, if you wake up and find yourself in an existential quandary filled with loathing and self-doubt and racked by your pitiful, meaningless existence, at least you can find a small bit of comfort in knowing that in this giant, crazy, mixed-up universe of ours, there's still a little place called Albuquerque. Thank you.